I'm just getting comfortable, and I'm going to start blowing up my balloons. I know I mentioned that my preference is standing. When I do blow up my balloons, to me it's more comfortable, but I didn't have a choice today. I had to squat, find a spot, get comfortable, and yeah. So you'll also see that I have my silver chrome in the bag, and that bag already blowing up, and then I also have my clusters on my 5-inch balloons that have already been blown up also. I did those at the house the night before just to save time at the venue today, which I was able to kind of sort of, but we'll get into that a little later on. But yeah, so now I'm just blowing up my purple, which is actually, I think is the lilac and Qualetex, and I'll be blowing up my white balloons, and then I'll also be blowing up the black as well. Okay, and I'm not sure if I mentioned it, you guys, but this setup was for a 50th celebration, and I was actually hired not by the young lady whose party or event it was, but I was actually hired by the event designer herself. She actually did the decorations for the whole entire event. But she does her own balloons also, but lately she's been hiring me to do her balloons because she did mention that it actually saves her time so that she can put more focus into other areas of the venue when it comes to decorating, you know, the table setups, the backdrops, etc. Everything goes. So I actually really appreciate that I get not all but most of my business from other event planners and event designers that do balloons, but they just prefer to let me do their balloons because it saves them time. And again, they can put more focus into other areas of the event that they need to or that they want to. And then of course, the rest of my business comes from, clients that, maybe just hire me just to do their balloons just because it's their event and they have an event designer, but they want me to do their balloons. So either way, I do appreciate it. But let me know in the comment area, like, do you guys mostly get your business from other event planners and designers that they do their own decor and their own balloons, but they just rather have you do them because it saves them time? Or do you get the clients to call you directly themselves to hire you for their events? Because I get both. So what about you? Comment in the comment area. Thank you. Okay, now it looks like we are ready to construct our garland, you guys. So yay, this is fun. This is great. I always look forward to putting that garland together after I'm blowing up the balloons. So let's go ahead and get into that. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and dump my other balloons. Those are the balloons that I prepared at the house the night before, the ones in that bag, that mattress bag. So yeah, we're going to gather all the balloons and then we're going to get started with the garland. But it looks like I'm actually putting the ones that I just blew up, the purple ones, in clusters first, prior to starting that construction of that garland. Okay, you guys, so it looks like we have already put our balloons into our clusters. Now I am ready to construct the garland. As you can see, that I am not usually, sometimes I'll use my 260s, but I am using the necks of the balloons to connect the clusters together. And as I mentioned in my other video, the reason why I find this method to be more beneficial to me is because when I tie them together using the necks, they tend to be more closer together, so I see less gaps or less empty spaces in between when I actually do install the garland to whatever area it'll be installed, the wall, or whether it's a backdrop, a photo stand, or whatever. Yeah, it's less open spaces to have to fill in. So yeah, that's why I like using the necks, and it actually saves, to me, it saves money because I don't have to keep purchasing my 260s. But the 260s, those are a good method. That's a good method to use because I do use it, and I do use that method a lot. It's just not my go-to always. And 260s definitely come in handy. I keep them on me. They come in handy for multiple occasions and reasons. But yeah, so that's what we're doing here. So I also have a question for you guys. I like to know, because the night and the day of, I was like, okay, as you can see right here, I'm like, okay, what pattern do I want to use? Sometimes I struggle with what pattern I want to use, because it's obvious I do color blocking. I love to do the color blocking. One of the YouTubers that I watched when I started, she mentioned that, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with her. I'll mention Yes Event Decor and More. That is the name of her channel, and I think her name is Laniel Kusar. But I love watching her when I first started, and still do. Anyway, so I tend to linger, so I'm gonna try not to linger. Back on topic. So when it comes to the color blocking, I've learned that it does give a more professional look, but sometimes I get confused as to what order. So sometimes I'll go and do a little sketch to figure out what color goes best where, but I didn't. I just kind of put it in my head when I got there. Be honest, I was led by the Holy Spirit. I'm gonna tell you guys the absolute truth, because I do pray before my events and ask God to help me with my creativity. But I love how this turned out, as far as the color blocking and the order, the sequence of the colors. So how do you guys do it? Do you just drop a sketch and just whatever looks better to you on paper or whatever? Or do you get to the event and do you just set up the balloons in order, and if it don't look right, you reconstruct until you get it right? Like, how do you guys do that? So I do have a couple of things that I do want to mention to you really quick, because it looks like we are almost at the end of constructing this garland. I did not get the unit to measure this. I think the whole garland actually did the job for that backdrop, which I think was an 8x8. I'm not sure. So if my unit of measure is correct, then that was maybe a 16 footer right there. I'm not absolutely sure, but I believe it was. But anyway, I did not get the video of me installing it to the backdrop. So all I have is the end product for you, which here it is, coming your way right now. I do apologize that I did not get that footage for you guys. I deeply apologize for that. I can't even explain why. It was just, I was trying to get some things done, and the camera wouldn't even set up right, and then it was just kind of awkward, and I just couldn't get that part on film. But this is the finished product, and thank you guys so much for being here and for watching and for tuning in. Don't forget to like and comment, if you will, and subscribe. Thank you.